Hi everyone, this is Dipankar from mytechsoup.com. Today we will be making our first visual web part. We will be doing a hello world. So before I start, uh, I would like to clarify on the requirements and who this video is for. This video is for absolute beginners. Someone who has never made a web part. The scope of this video will be to get started with the overall development, and functionally we won't be doing much. We would just be making a text box, a button. The user enters some text into the text box, clicks the button, and the text shows up on the pop-up. So as far as for requirements, the viewer needs to know about web applications, about site collections, about sites, about pages, all that little basics of SharePoint. Plus, you won't be needing, a lot of knowledge of C Sharp, because we will be using only client-side code for this Hello World application. So this is our new site collection. I have given it a name of Notorious Builders, which I will be using as a base for this current video and also for future video, which would be showing more advanced programming capabilities that we can enhance from the visual web part. Now to get started, I let's go ahead and fire up Visual Studio. I'll say new project. In the Visual C Sharp tab on the left side, after clicking on new project, you will see SharePoint. Now just click on SharePoint 2010 Visual Web Part, give it a name. I'll give it NB Hello World New something, any name you can give. What is it asking now? It is asking for a local site where you want to deploy it, as well as you want to use the same site for debugging. I have given the new Notorious Builders site collection that I've just created. As a practice, I would like to deploy it as a farm solution as of now for beginners. Now what Visual Studio is doing right now, it's creating a project template for me, which will help me work on my new visual web part. Now to remind you guys again, our aim is to have a text box, a button, and after clicking the button, whatever text is in the text box should come up on an alert box in the browser. So as you can see, Visual Studio has provided me with the template for the new visual web part. Now I have a web part file here which has a lot of stuff here. I don't need to worry about them right now. This is a hello world application. I'll just go to the ASCX file. I will say input. I will say ID equal to test input something. I give it a width, maybe 300px would be fine. I'll again say input. Now I want a button. Oh, oops. Button. I give it an ID. I don't need to give it an ID. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we would be using only client-side code and no C Sharp here. So I would like to use jQuery for DOM manipulation here. For doing that, I need to import a folder here. You need to right click on the project. You need to say add, and SharePoint layouts map folder. You need to click on this. And after doing this, what Visual Studio has done for me is it's given me a layouts folder with a subfolder which is empty, and it has the same name as the project. Now we can go ahead and rename this. I'll name it as scripts. I will import my jQuery file here, JS file, existing item. I'll just go ahead and find this. I will drag and drop this. I'm sorry. I will say on click called JavaScript foo. Done. Now we'll go ahead and write some actual script. I will say function foo, which I have binded to the on click event. I will take an alert, and in this alert I would say dollar hash test input dot well. Done. Now to deploy the project, I will go ahead and say right click. Oops, no. Right click and say deploy. I would go to my site collection. What I need to do now is put the current web part somewhere. So what I'll do is I'll put it into a new page. I'll go ahead to site actions. I'll say more options. I'll go to page, web part, create. I'll give it a name, test page. Okay, create. It has given me a template and I can go ahead and add web parts to it. I'll just click somewhere, custom. Now this is a web part that we need to deploy. This is basically a project name hyphen the web part name. I'll go and add, stop editing, and I have my text box and button here, but I think I've forgotten to give it a name. So value is equal to click me. Okay, we've got it. Now I'll just go say hello world. Okay, our hello world is complete. I would be taking on more advanced videos in my further lessons, and as said, I would be only using client-side code for that. Thank you.